So if we look at goal setting, and you may have done various goal setting exercises before, and there's various books and DVDs on goal setting, and many people do this as a common exercise to try and enable them to propel themselves forward and achieve the things that they want to achieve. But one of the common fundamental key elements missed out from this exercise is that when things go bad, and not only when things go bad, but how you're going to feel and how you're going to react and how your body's going to perform and how your mind is going to perform when things go bad. And isn't this an important part of the process? Because if we're planning stuff, this is the easy part, right? Of course, when we're setting our goals, this is the fun part, it's the creative part, and it's the part where you can enjoy it and get excited and think, yeah, I'm going to achieve great things and this is going to be fantastic and I'm going to take on the world and I'm going to do the best for my family. And it's, yeah, of course, it's great. I mean, who's not going to enjoy that, right? But we live in a realistic world. So we have to plan for realistic challenges. And all the challenges aren't going to be fun. All those challenges aren't going to be easy. So we need to factor in how we're going to feel when things go bad and how we're going to feel when things go really bad. Okay? And one of the ways I found to do this is if you think back to a not so good time in your life or a negative time in your life where you found yourself in a situation where you didn't want to move forward and you just wanted to stay in bed, you didn't want to talk to anybody. These situations, these moments will happen again when you're going to want to, when you set your goals and you start to move forward. It's inevitable that you find yourself in these situations again where you feel alone, you feel anxious, you feel nervous, you feel sad, and you feel like you don't want to carry on. You may be down on your knees thinking, oh my God, I can't cope. But it's at this situation here, it's at that position of which sets someone who's able to achieve great things away from someone who gets nervous and runs the other way. And a good exercise to do is that when you do find yourself in one of these situations where things don't go according to plan, and that's obviously one of the things that you need to, crucial elements that you always need to factor into any goal setting exercise you do, when things don't go according to plan, is to use that moment to acclimatise to it, to get used to it, and get through those barriers. Because 99% of the time, when people want to achieve great things and they've planned their goals, they're ready to move forward, and they hit the first problem, when something happens, especially if it's a major event, they turn around and run back the other way. They can't handle it. But if you can plan this into your goals, and plan this into your strategy, and certainly plan in exactly how that's going to make you feel, it's not going to be such a problem, because you're going to think to yourself, it's just part of the process. It's just something else that I need to deal with to achieve the bigger picture. Where if you don't factor that in and don't really truly say to yourself that I've been here before, I know how this feels, and be able to deal with it, and you're not going to be able to have the heart to move forward. You're going to want to run back like the rest of them. Okay? So mind pre-preparation is always a good thing. Although in your plans, it may not be all positive. So you're going to have to put yourself in possibly some negative situations to acclimatise to that. Because we live in a realistic world, and things are going to happen. Okay? Things are going to happen, especially in your goals and plans. Things are going to happen. So let's talk about this work of motivation, and you've probably heard this 1,000,001 times before in events like this or in a conference or seminars that you've attended. But what is the true meaning of motivation? Because how easy is it for me to keep you motivated tonight? Pretty easy. And it's going to be pretty easy for any speaker to keep you motivated at their seminars and events too. Because you've got that network around you, you've got the speaker there, you've got the music on, so everyone's enthused, everyone's happy on the night. And it's going to be quite easy for you to walk away from that event thinking, yeah, I want to take on the world. I want to really conquer the planet and make a difference and certainly change myself into a low achiever, into a high achiever. And it's easier to get yourself enthused on the night. But what happens the day after and the day after that and the week after that and 2 or 3 weeks down the line when there is no music, there is no speaker, there is no network to keep you enthused? You've still got your plans written down from the evening, but you haven't got that enthusiasm and that motivation to carry on. It's all gone. It's all fizzled away. But there may have been 300 people at that event. And it may be 3 weeks down the line that only 2 people have got that level of motivation to carry on and turn that into something special, to achieve something from that. So the true meaning, to me, of motivation is being able to pull that enthusiasm out the bag whenever you like, being able to switch it on, switch it off whenever you like. And it's getting 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 months down the line and being able to use that motivation to really propel yourself forward and to achieve whatever you want to achieve. That's the true meaning of motivation. Not when you've got your music on in your car, not when you're having a good chat with your friends about all the things you want to achieve, not when you're planning your business or planning the things that you want to do in life. It's when you wake up in the mornings. It's when you go to bed at night. It's keeping yourself motivated. That's what really sets the cat amongst the pigeons. Not in events like this, because it's easy, as I say, to want to take on the world afterwards. But it's getting to a distance down the line when you can still use that motivation to keep you enthused enough to achieve the things that you want to achieve. So, what can we do as human beings to make sure we keep ourselves motivated? And there's 2 elements to this. There's 2 different types of motivation. There's mechanical motivation and there's emotional motivation. And tonight, we're quite emotionally motivated, aren't we? We're quite happy, we're quite enthused, we're quite excited about the things that we're writing down in our pads and all the plans that we're putting in place. And it's great, it's a fantastic feeling, isn't it? And we've got something solid to look forward to because we've got our milestones in place, we've got our goals, and we've got written down all the things that we want to achieve. And that's fantastic. And it's good because our emotions are saying, yes, we really want to do this. So this is emotional motivation, where we get a pull towards the things that we want to achieve, don't we? We're pulled towards that. And that's great. But every now and again, and it could be 2, 3, 4 times a week, that enthusiasm isn't going to be there. It's just not going to be there. So therefore, what do we do then? When we haven't got that pull, when we haven't got that inner enthusiasm in us to move forward and achieve those things that we want to achieve. Then we switch from emotional motivation to mechanical motivation. And when we wake up feeling lousy or things happen, because bad things happen in life, unfortunately, really bad things happen in life, what happens then when we don't feel like moving forward? When we don't feel like using that progress that we've made over the last several weeks, several months, possibly even several years? What do we do then? We feel lousy, but we still need to carry on because we have commitments. We have a commitment to our family, we have a commitment to ourselves. Then we switch to that mechanical motivation. And that mechanical motivation is keeping yourself moving. Because motion equals emotion. And if you keep yourself moving, that will stimulate your emotion, and that will stimulate your emotional motivation and mechanical motivation. And one will lead on to the other. So if you can keep yourself moving and just do the things, physically do the things that you need to do, then that will be enough to get that emotional motivation back. So let's talk about levels of awareness. Why do we need to be more aware? We briefly spoke about this earlier, but why do we need to be more aware of what's going on around us? Why do we need to see more and sense more? Because having a heightened level of awareness is the difference between average people and very high achievers. Why? 2 reasons. One is because a high achiever will see any problems or challenges or issues they have to deal with way in the distance, way before it gets to them, and they can deal with them efficiently before it causes them a problem, before it comes anywhere near them. Why? Because they've got a wider level of awareness. They can see so far more ahead in the future and so far back in the way of learning from their past experiences when they're dealing with the current, whereas the person who hasn't got a heightened level of awareness is unable to do that because they're only focusing on what's going on around them immediately day to day, what they're doing with their mind, body and soul day to day, and they're not focusing on anything else, what's going on around them. So someone that's got a higher level of awareness will, one, see problems that are coming way before it gets to them and be able to deal with them efficiently and eliminate those problems so it doesn't cause them any troubles, as in moving forward and achieving what they want to achieve, so on and so forth. And in addition to this, they're able to spot opportunities way before anyone else because they haven't got that heightened level of awareness, so therefore they can't see those opportunities coming in the future. And they can't spot those smaller opportunities that are available around them as well, where someone with a wider circle of awareness will be able to see all those opportunities that are going on around them and spot those opportunities in the future and be able to grab those opportunities and use them to the best of their advantage. So if having a heightened level of awareness is a good thing, how can we raise our level of awareness as human beings? So you've done some great work tonight and you've done some good goal mapping and goal setting, and now it's time to take that work home and put it into action. And you've all heard the phrase before, take action in what you've learned, right? Of course, it sounds a bit corny now, and it's one of the most common things that you're going to hear when you go to any personal development seminar like this. But the crucial difference between you and most of the other people in that room, and possibly in this room, is that you're still taking the action in 3 months' time, 6 months' time, a year's time, 2 years' time, and you're still as enthused and you've still got the same level of get up and go as you have right now. And that is the difference between people who go to these events and forget about everything that they've learned, or go to these events and continue to use what they've learned. And this will be the difference between someone who is a high achiever and will achieve their goals and someone that just comes to these events and then forgets all about them in a few days' time. And we don't really want to do that. It's a waste of time and it's a waste of money. So one good thing that we can do, which will help you to continue to take action, is don't worry about it too much in the next week or so, because you will automatically take action because you're still quite excited about the event and about the evening. One of the things that we can do is diarise it, maybe put it in a diary for 3 months' time, to remind ourselves to take action, to remind ourselves to continue to act on what we've been shown and what we've been taught. And another thing that we can do is continue to think about our plans and our goals every night just before we go to sleep and every morning when we wake up, because it keeps it fresh in the front of our mind and it makes us not forget about our priorities and about the things that we set out to achieve.